up, guys? It's your girl, Keela Ray. Welcome back to Game Time Astrology Podcast, the first ever sports astrology podcast. You heard it here first. It's your girl, Keela Ray, and we are going to talk about today in this episode, when will LeBron James retire based on his astrology chart? Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to donate coffee to me, all the information is down in the description box below. Hit my Cash App, Game Time Astrology. All right, because I do love some coffee. All right, y'all. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about LeBron James. And once again, like I did a whole video on LeBron James back in, I think it was like episode 9 or something like that. But you can go back into my content and you can see that video. And I talked about briefly when I think LeBron James will retire, but I wanted to do an episode that succinctly focuses on this topic because, as we know, LeBron James is 41 years old. This is year 23 in the NBA for him, and everyone's wondering, when is this man going to retire? Is he going to play till 45? Is he going to play till 50? Who knows? But I know. All right, so basically, from what I was seeing, I was looking at his transits, okay? I was looking at his transits, and basically I looked at transiting points and planets, like transit North Node is the first thing I looked at, transit Saturn and transit Neptune, because all of these planets, Saturn and Neptune, the point of the North Node, will be switching signs later on in the year. And when it comes to the North Node in Pisces, this will be switching to Aquarius. The North Node will retrograde from Pisces to Aquarius in this summer of August 2026. And so this is going to create a shift for LeBron James in terms of what he will be focused on. And also Saturn and Neptune will also shift to Aries. Okay, it will go from Pisces to Aries. Currently right now, I believe Neptune is in Aries. Saturn is just going to catch up later on in February, March of this year, 2026. And so with that being said, when we have these changes occurring, that's when there's going to be a shift with LeBron James. And then we also have to remember too that Uranus will ingress back into Gemini as well. That will be in May of this year, 2026. And so that's also going to be a shift for LeBron James. And so the main point that I want to focus on, and I'll focus on the other placements too, like Saturn and Neptune and Gemini and Uranus and Gemini, if you will. I want to focus on North Node in Pisces, okay? So LeBron James has a Pisces midheaven, okay? His birth time is 4:04 p.m., okay? And he was born in Akron, Ohio on December 30th, 1984, okay? So basically what this configuration is saying is that with the North Node in Pisces transiting in his 10th house, it will actually directly conjunct his midheaven in Pisces around end of June, early July of 2026, okay? And so I believe that the North Node transiting in Pisces in his 10th house is one of the reasons why he is still playing currently, okay? There is, whether he knows it or not, a focus on his career. He has made a career out of playing basketball, right? And he has a midheaven in Pisces, and the North Node is in Pisces, okay? But the North Node in Pisces is going to leave Pisces, like I said, in August of 2026. And it's going to shift into his 9th house, okay? Of higher education, travel, long distance travel, optimism, luck, good fortune, laws, spirituality, religion. And then also at the same time, right now as I'm recording this, Neptune will be ingressing into Aries, which will then show up in his 11th house. And then also Saturn will follow suit in the month of February, especially by the time we reach March 2026. Saturn and Neptune in Aries will be in his 11th house, and he has Moon in Aries, okay? And so with that shift, that's going to also play into why I feel like he will retire at age 42. He will retire at age 42. He's 41. Now, when Saturn is transiting in a specific house, it makes things a little bit more testy and harder, and you gotta really, I'm gonna turn my iPad off so it doesn't die on me because I have to refer back to it. When Saturn is transiting a house, it makes that house a little dicey. It makes you have to really step up to the plate and be responsible and make really good decisions. And it could be hard. It could be tough to navigate situations in that particular house, situations that arise in that particular house. So for LeBron James, for example, with Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries, which is going to be ingressing into his 11th house next month into March as well, March 2026, this is going to, first of all, number one, the 11th house deals with your networks, the groups of people that you surround yourself with, teams, right, business partnerships. And we know that his business partnership with the Lakers is kind of on the rocks, allegedly, due to the rumors that's going around. Allegedly, with the new management with the Lakers, they are really looking for Luka to step up and be the number one player, the number one option. And LeBron James is seemingly on his way out the door to retire, or at least that is the narrative, right? And I really feel like that narrative is really going to start to really hit some sort of accuracy point once Saturn and Neptune fully ingress into his 11th house of business partnerships. This means that with Saturn in the 11th house, business partnerships will get a little harder for him to acquire. He won't have the same, kind of like flowy energy there of, oh, I got this network, they love me, this team loves me, I'm LeBron James, etc., etc. It's going to require, it could also be like, some restriction there too when it comes to finding a new team to be with. No one's really going to want, in my opinion, I don't think anyone's going to want a 42-year-old LeBron James next season in 2027 in January. No one's going to want that. I'm sorry. And it's not that I'm making an assumption. I'm going based off the astrology, of course. Okay. So like when Saturn and then Neptune is going to be in the 11th house too, which can make things, teams not seeing him the same way that they used to see him. Teams, GMs, owners of the team, stuff like that. They're not going to really be seeing him in the same way that he was viewed 10 years ago, 15 years ago when he first came into the league as well. He's not going to be seen the same way. That is just the reality of Saturn and Neptune in Aries, transiting close together. Saturn creates blockages. Neptune creates confusion, illusion, right? So with LeBron James, I'll talk about it from his vantage point. With Saturn, starting with Saturn in the 11th house, he will also feel this restriction when it comes to signing with another team. Probably won't even get the kind of money that he wants to get. And also, if the longer he stays in the league, like I said in the first video that I did on LeBron James, the longer he stays in the league, the more harder it is, the worse his legacy is going to get. It's going to get bad because it's just kind of like, even right now, it's like, why don't you just retire? A lot of people are saying, why don't you just retire and just fully give the keys to Luka and AR and Larabia, and so that is also a signature in his natal chart that yes, he is going to retire late. He has a stellium in Capricorn, but also there is also an energetic signature in his natal chart that the longer he stays in a particular profession, and in this case, of course, is basketball, his legacy declines. So, hey, it's up to him. Now, that's Saturn. Now, with Neptune in the 11th house, I believe from LeBron James's vantage point, he might literally be disappointed in the fact that other teams are not going to want him or not going to want to pick him up if he does want to stay in the league. But I do believe that it will be in his best interest to not stay in the league. Because with Neptune transiting in the 11th house, what is the 11th house? Business partnerships, networking, groups of people, friendships. There's going to be a fog over that. There's going to be a fog from an external perspective of, I don't see LeBron James the way I used to see him. He's 41, 42 years old. And then from LeBron James's vantage point is, wow, things are not working the way that they used to. Like, I'm so used to things like working, and I thought, like, if I work hard at this and, continue to play basketball, teams will want to pick me up. But that's not going to be the reality that LeBron James will face once Saturn and Neptune fully ingress into that 11th house of his. So those are the first 3 points that I want to talk about here as well. Now, I do want to kind of talk about something else here. When actually Neptune is currently right now in his 12th house. And so, I'm sorry, not Neptune, Uranus. Uranus will ingress into the sign of Gemini around May of this year, end of April, beginning of May of 2026. And he has a Gemini rising, and Uranus will be in Gemini. So that means that Uranus will be transiting his first house of the self and the physical body. And so there could be something radically shifting with how we see LeBron James as well in this spring coming up, spring 2026, of him just, then Uranus is going to be, conjuncting his Chiron placement as well. So there could be some radical surprises around triggers and wounds that come up around how people are seeing him. They're not seeing him the same way as LeBron James is like he used to, you know what I mean? Like his bounce is leaving him, he's old. It is what it is. And again, like for all you bronze sexuals out there, I'm not dissing LeBron, I'm going based off the chart. So when Uranus is transiting in someone's first house, then what's happening is they're showing up in a whole new way, right? They are literally shifting their persona, their personality, and they could actually become extremely unrecognizable. When Uranus is transiting your first house, you could literally show up as someone that has radically shifted, whether it be in the physical or just, how you show up, how people perceive you as well. And even so, how LeBron James will perceive himself. He will be going through some radical shifts and changes that could be rather shocking to him as well in terms of, his physical body. Uranus rules the physical body. He could have some other ailments as well, body breaking down. Remember, LeBron has never really had a lot of injuries, but I do believe that if he continues to play while Uranus is transiting in that first house of the physical body, he can succumb to some pretty harsh injuries, pretty substantial injuries that are hard to come back from. I do recall that he has, sciatica back in October, right? And this was when Uranus was in Gemini. Remember, he was out for like the first couple games of the season. And when that happened, Uranus was in Gemini, transiting in his first house. And it took him a very long time to come back and re-enter and into the rotation and playing again because he was going through that injury. This is what I see happening as well if he continues to play. Like I said, I believe like come April, May of this year, and then if he continues to play next year, starting the season in October, he's going to, that injury is going to flare up again, or some other injury is going to flare up again where it's going to be shocking to him because he's probably not used to like breaking down, like his body breaking down or having sciatica. Correct me if I'm wrong on how to pronounce that. I don't know too much about that injury, but yeah. And it could be like something else, Gemini rules the hands. He could have a hand injury, it could be something like that pops up with him that could potentially force him to sit down. So that's another transit that is occurring that I believe will lead to retirement at age 42. Not now. I don't think that he's going to retire at the end of this season, but maybe announce his retirement in October. Let me see. If I look at October, yeah, Uranus will be in an exact conjunction to his natal Chiron around the summer of this year. And we know that's when the season ends. They're going into like playoffs and finals. And I really do believe that around July of 2026, he might start thinking about retirement. And it could very much so trigger him. With Uranus also in a conjunction to Chiron, that also can speak to injury as well. of the hands, anything dealing with, the Gemini body parts and stuff like that, which I actually talked about in a video that I had just like recently posted. Stuff like this could actually show up for him. Let me see. In terms of Gemini, like again, with Gemini, we're dealing with arms, hands, carpal tunnel fracture. So he could, fracture his arm or something. I mean, it could be any of those kinds of things, right? And so there's that. And like I said, this is happening exact on, when is this going to happen? When Uranus is in exact conjunction. I'll give you guys the date as I'm looking right now. Okay, so here we go. Because he has Chiron at 4 degrees 11 minutes. And so this is going to be direct around July the 11th of 2026, when Uranus and Gemini is going to be conjoining his Chiron in Gemini exact. And so this could bring up some insecurities around his physical body. I really feel like if he continues to play, he's going to start to be riddled with injury because, like they said, Father Time is undefeated. So there's that. The next thing too, like I said, with the North Node in Pisces in a direct conjunction with his midheaven, I don't think I talked about that yet. That's going to be around, that exact conjunction will be, because he has midheaven in Pisces at 1 degrees 58 minutes. And so that's going to be around June 17, 2026. June 17, 2026. Okay. So with that conjunction, that's in the summertime. That's like around playoff time, right? And so I believe like at this point, he will start to consider on June 17, 2026, around the summertime of 2026, whether he wants to retire or not. Okay. The North Node is about destiny. And then if it's in the conjunction with the midheaven, it's like, what do you need to surrender in career? That's what LeBron James will need to ask himself, because Pisces is about surrender and letting things flow. And the North Node in a conjunction to his midheaven at this particular time period, it is a fated transit and it isn't by mistake. And I really feel like it's going to be a pivotal point for him to consider if he wants to retire or not. And I really think that there will be some sort of letting go of the career that he has so tightly held on to. Now, the last thing I want to say is the reason why I think LeBron James would retire at 42, because he will be in his 7th house profection year. Currently at 41, he's in his 6th house profection year. And this also explains why he's still playing, because the 6th house rules our day-to-day routines and our 9-to-5 job. It's the Virgo house. It's all about working and loving your work and putting in the work, not retiring. Virgo's not about retiring. Okay. And his 7th house is Sagittarius. It's ruled by Jupiter. And the ruler of his 7th house is actually sitting in his 8th house of shared resources. So I do believe by his 7th house perfection year at age 42, this will be the time where it'll be a good time for him to invest in other things besides basketball, besides his basketball career, like probably looking into investing in businesses, buying a team. That's when I think that this is going to happen at age 42. But that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Go down below in the description box for all the information on how to book a reading with me and donate me some coffee. Until next time, guys. Peace.